this is gonna be a crazy one. Hello gorgeous, welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new, and if you are new, it would mean so much if you guys hit that subscribe button to join my YouTube family. But I am bringing back another story time. You guys seem to love them, and I'm so thankful because honestly, I love just like sitting down, chilling out, and just talking to you guys like you're my best friends, and talking about the crazy experiences I have gone through in my life. And there have been many, let me tell you, because this is years and years now of stories that I've always wanted to tell, and we're here now. Yes, you read the title, it's true. I was involved in a hit and run, but I was not the runner. Today's story time is gonna be a little bit different from my dating horror stories and also my ex-best friend story. This one's a little bit different, but it's just as crazy, if not crazier. So I thought it would be fun to share it with you guys. In one of my recent story times, I asked you guys if you wanted to hear about some of my crazy university stories I have. And this is one of them. Grab a drink, grab a snack. It's gonna be a long one. Trust me, listen to the whole story. It is absolutely insane. If you guys want, also you can follow me on my Instagram. You guys, I've been loving talking to you guys over on there. So feel free, it's just at Nicoletta XOYT. And on that note, let's just get right into the story and why you're here. I'm gonna throw the story back all the way to the good old university days. So I believe at this point I was probably in 3rd or 4th year university. It might have been 4th. So it was actually for my 20th or 21st birthday. I believe that was for my 21st because I believe it was for my 21st birthday. So I think I was going into 4th year university at this point when this whole fiasco happened. Let's bring back the scene to when it was the summertime. So my birthday's August 10th. For my 21st birthday, I wanted to do something fun, but you know, I had a huge party the year before, and that alone was honestly crazy. I have just stories from that time. This year, for my 21st birthday, I still wanted to go out and have fun with my girlfriends, but I wanted to do a smaller thing. I decided that myself and 2 of my best friends would spend the weekend in Niagara Falls. So I am from Toronto, and a lot of the times we go to Niagara Falls, they have like the casino there and a couple clubs, and they have the strip where there's a lot of stuff to do during the day. Like you can go to the wax museum, they have like mini golf there, they have all these activities, you can do mazes. It's a place that a lot of people like to go to have fun, and it's actually really beautiful. The falls alone just look stunning. So I wanted to do my 21st birthday in Niagara Falls. So my best friends and I decided that we're gonna road trip up there, and we booked a hotel for the weekend to celebrate my birthday all weekend because I'm extra. At that time, I never went to Niagara Falls that often, so it was super exciting for my friends and I, and we were so excited to have the most epic girls trip. Girls trips are honestly the best. I had some of my favorite times on just girls trips. My best friend was nice enough to drive us up there, so we took her car and we went on a Friday, but we had to all wait till we were done our school, and that is what we did. We decided to go in Friday evening. So by the time we actually were on the way to Niagara, unfortunately we left at rush hour. And if any of you guys know Toronto, the traffic in Toronto is crazy during rush hour. It is literally bumper to bumper. There's always accidents. We were really dreading it, but we're like, you know what? It's okay. We're gonna get there. We're gonna have the best weekend ever. My best friend picks up myself and my other friend, and we pack all our stuff and we start heading to Niagara Falls. So where all my friends and I live together, it's about like an hour and a half away, I would say. But with the traffic, it's probably 2.5 hours to be honest. We started to drive there. We're just in the car, we're jamming our music, and we're living our best lives. We are honestly crazy, but we're gonna ignore that. We're just like listening to music and singing on the top of our lungs. I remember I lost my voice that weekend because I was talking so much and just singing so much throughout the entire weekend that I had no voice on the way back. If I have a video, I should honestly post it because I remember I took so many videos in the car. I should totally show that for you guys.
Bye, Niagara! And say bye! Bye! My voice is gone. Bye! Bye!
Yeah, I'm crazy, I know. We were like listening to music And my friends and I are low-key Eminem fans. We love his music, but every single time an Eminem song comes on when I'm with my friends driving a car, something goes wrong. And this is probably the third time this has happened when an Eminem song's on. So just picture us in our car, so excited to go to Niagara Falls for the weekend, and all of a sudden we hear our Eminem song and we're so into it, just, you know, rapping our music to Eminem. We're on the highway at this point and it is literally bumper to bumper. Like, no one's moving because it is so much traffic. It's at this point, it's probably like 6 p.m., which is honestly the worst. So we came to a complete stop on the highway because there was nowhere to go. Like I said, it was bumper to bumper, so we had to stop. So we're just stopped and waiting for the traffic to move, and all of a sudden, bam, we fly forward. I remember I felt like I got whiplash on my neck, my back hurt, my neck hurt, and my friend in the back like whipped herself even more further. I remember hurt her neck and back. It was honestly a mess. We didn't know what the heck happened in the moment, and then it sank in and we're like, did someone just hit us? So we turn around and the guy behind us whacked into the back of our car. We were at a complete stop and he went so fast in the back that it was such a big impact. My friends and I are starting to kind of freak out. We're like, what the heck? So we pull to the side and then the guy's able to pull to the side and we're freaking out. We're like, you hit our car. Didn't you see it's a complete stop? And he says he wasn't paying attention and he's sorry, like he didn't know everyone was stopped. Cause I was saying, like, how do you hit that hard and everyone stopped? Like, how are you not looking? We were pulled on the side in rush hour, talking to this guy. The funny part is my best friend at the time didn't tell her parents we were going to Niagara Falls. Gotta love strict parents. This is why you should never not tell the truth, but you know, we've all been there where, you know, you give a little bit of a white lie. So my best friend was really freaking out because she's like, I don't want to call my parents, like I can't call them, they don't know I'm going to Niagara, they think I'm here. So she's freaking out and I'm freaking out for her, trying to talk to this guy that just hit us in the back and he's trying to get away, and it's just a crazy mess. And then my other friend's just confused, she's just standing there, and we're all just like so annoyed and we're like, are you serious? We were so excited, and all of a sudden all this drama had to follow us. Unfortunately, because my friend was nervous about her parents finding out, we decided, and also the guy of course didn't want to go through insurance. He wanted to do it on the side, pay for the damages, and not go through insurance, because a lot of the times if you go through insurance, his insurance is going to spike extremely high, of course. So a lot of the times people want to try and solve it themselves, and the person will pay you for the damages instead of going through the insurance route. So my friend was nice to say, okay, fine, we won't go through insurance. And so he wrote down his number and we still ended up going to Niagara Falls. So we should have dealt with it right away, but we had a hotel booked, and 21-year-old us were like, you know what? We have to have more fun now, because this was just a damper and we still need to go to Niagara and have the best time ever. So that is what we did. It was so much fun. I think, to be honest, that is one of my most favorite weekends of my entire life.
Day to you.
When we were in Niagara Falls, one of the nights we saw deadmau5, which deadmau5 at the time was a lot more popular. I feel like he hasn't come out with music in a while, but I remember we were at this club in Niagara and all of a sudden white Lambo pulls up, and who comes out? deadmau5. And we were like freaking out. I remember, I'm pretty sure he is Canadian and he's from that area. From what I understand, I need to double check on that, but I'm pretty sure he is Canadian. That's why he was there. He literally came not really to perform. All he did was like pulled up with his Lambo, and he just started saying hi to like the club workers and the people there, and he was like hanging out. He didn't like go to perform or anything. So I definitely feel like he's around that area. So that was pretty cool, and we just had honestly so much fun. It's always so much fun with my girlfriends. We can make the worst situations the best situations, but we knew when we came home from Niagara we had to deal with this whole car crash situation. So when we were starting to come home, that is when my best friend started to call this guy with his number. And what happened when we called him? No answer. So the guy started ignoring all of his phone calls. no longer answering, and we tried to get through. 21-year-old us were not thinking, and we didn't get more information. We just didn't really think someone would do that, so we didn't get more information. So we were left with his name and a phone number. And can I tell you, his name was the most basic name in the entire world. Like, if you search up his name on Facebook, you'll get thousands of results. If you search his name on Google, you'll get thousands and thousands of results because it's so common. It would be so hard to figure out who he is. But the story does not end here. So he's trying to do a hit and run and just not deal with it and never see us again. And he thinks that it's gonna happen because he thinks that we're not gonna find out who he is, where he lives, what he does, where he goes to school, all of that stuff. I was not okay with that. My friend was freaking out and I was like, no, Nicoletta to the rescue. We are going to deal with the situation. So that is what I did. I ended up going on Facebook. I remember I was like putting on my private investigating hat, and I don't know how I figured this out, but I kept searching for this guy and I was able to find out literally his whole identity. I found out where he worked. I found out what university he went to. I found out his high school. I literally found out this guy's entire life. I'm pretty sure I even found an address. I was not okay with this. You were not about to do a hit and run, and she was nice enough not to go through an insurance, which honestly we probably should have, but you know, we weren't really thinking at that time the best, I have to admit that. And the next part was a little bit crazy, but you know what? He actually really damaged her car, and we were not going to let this guy get away with it. It was just not gonna happen. But I was not letting this guy get away with screwing over my best friend. If you mess with my best friends, you mess with me. My best friend and I decided we're gonna road trip to downtown Toronto to his work and confront him at his work because he was no longer picking up our calls. He blocked the calls, so we literally had nothing. And we walk into his work, and he worked at a kind of like a higher end male like retail store. And so we opened the doors. We didn't see him right away, so we were thinking maybe he's not on shift today. We asked his boss if this person was in. He was in the back. So he comes and walks out, and it was literally like he saw a ghost when he saw my best friend and I. His face turned white because he was in so much shock. The last people he was expecting was myself and my best friend. So my best friend and I were like, hello, it's me again. You thought you could get away, but not with me. He ended up talking to us, and at this point he was caught. There was no way of him going around it. He had no idea how I found out where he worked, and pretty much he tried to make an excuse like he was out of town on a work business trip, but of course his boss said that he was never out on a work business trip. They don't do that. He's just doing retail. He works just in the store doing cashier. He doesn't really like go on work business trips out of the country. So he was trying to say that to us at first, and the reason why he wasn't answering the phone calls, which was obviously a complete lie because he ended up blocking her phone call, and he was just trying to go around it, and he honestly was just caught kind of like red-handed. He had no idea what to say or do, and he obviously didn't want to pay my best friend, but at this point he had no choice. So we ended up going to get an estimate from our mechanic, and we ended up going to pick up the money, and he had no choice but to give it to us at his work. So we had to go back to pick up the money, and my best friend got the money for the damages of her car, and her car got hit pretty bad from the back, and we still drove to Niagara with it and then drove home with like her back all jacked up. So that is our crazy story with our hit and run. Be safe, honestly. After that, I was like, I'm not trusting anyone. But that is the story of when I was in a hit and run, and I hope this never happens again. There's crazies on the road. But I hope you guys enjoyed this story. Thumbs it up if you guys like my story times. I will link my playlist down below for you guys if you want to hear other crazy stories. Let me know what kind of stories you want me to talk about. Like if you want it to be like dating stories, friendships, or like any other situation in life kind of stories. I totally will do it. And I hope you guys enjoyed just this little chill story that happened to good old little Nicoletta in my university days. Click the subscribe button to join my YouTube family. I upload every single week, and turn on the bell to be notified every single time I upload. But on that note, I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!